So it goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Do not do this at home.
Oh, hey, the hot mic. How's it going, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, I need a lot of attention to do what I'm doing. Welcome everyone, thank you for tuning in right now.
Hey, everybody.
Is this the... I think this might be the 1 minute intro. Sorry, everybody.
Crazy to me that I made that.
There
It
is.
only took me 42 minutes to make it through.
Oh, okay, but they can't. So they can't hear us talking right now.
They sure can.
Okay.
No, I have a macro that should fix that, but you see at the very bottom the mic aux input down there, that's our voices. That's supposed to be muted for 1 minute, and then it automatically cuts on when this is done. It's not doing that.
It's actually really good.
So everyone can hear us.
I have more good.
I only get news.
There it is. Hi everyone! We've been here the whole time. Thank you for tuning in. 22 Johnson, Fruit Jelly, Jay Slush, Angry Lilith, and I think we had one more. We have a returning regular. Thank you all for tuning in, sticking around, showing up. I do appreciate it. We have Dylan with us again today.
What's good?
Featuring, tell us everyone who's on your shirt, Dylan.
Okay. Starting from top.
Camera 2. This is the most important part of this live stream.
So what should I get over here?
Is going to be...
All right. So these are all from the West Coast. Sugar Free, Dr. Dre. Yep. Exhibit, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, Ice T, E40, MC8, Be Real, DJ Quick, Tupac, Corrupt, Mac Dre, Easy E, and Nate Dogg. Do we have an applause button?
I wish. At my other studio, I do have those sound effects. I would like to have them here as well, but I don't.
It's all good.
There we go.
We love West Coast hip hop around here.
So, everyone, today, what we're doing is we're bottling the golden ale that we made, or that we started 5 weeks ago? A month ago? I don't know. The date on here is 2/8, which is a little less than 2 weeks ago. It's 2 weeks from yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So normally, this is actually in secondary fermentation. So this has been fermenting for longer than 2 weeks. In secondary fermentation, which is when you've removed your beer from like the trub and all the solids and stuff at the bottom. So like you see that tiny little film right there with Dylan for scale, which is not helpful because Dylan is
I have a big head. Just say it.
he's an extra boy. He's a boy and a half. Normally, after primary fermentation, you separate it from those solids. You still have a little bit in secondary fermentation because your yeast is still active. What we're going to do is we're going to add some sugar to this and transfer this into individual bottles. Now, that sugar is going to give the yeast a little bit more to eat up in here if the yeast is still active, and it will convert that stuff into carbon dioxide inside the bottle. And since it has nowhere to go in the bottle, because we're going to cap it, the carbon dioxide goes into solution, and that is the natural way of carbonating your beer. Another way that some people would do it would be to have like a CO2 canister and just like artificially pump your beer full of carbon dioxide. I don't have that kind of money, and sugar is cheap, so we're doing that. How have you been, Cointrick? Deadshot, thank you for tuning back in. I appreciate it. How's it going?
Was good.
Premium boy, yeah. This is the boy you gotta pay extra for. I'm the boy you get for free. I'm the free trial boy.
I'm premium boy.
Yes.
I'm
That's your superhero name. I'm premium boy.
I'm Patreon boy.
I'm OnlyMans. Premium boy and OnlyMans.
I actually like that better. That's great.
Wow, well, this is the live stream when we're sober, so it's all downhill from here.
Yep.
Meaning gravity will take us the rest of the way, and that's not a specific gravity joke, but it should be. So we have a gallon of beer here, which is normal. Well, we have a little bit less than a gallon. A gallon would be 128 ounces. We have these bottles, which are 12 ounces when you fill them about halfway up the neck here. So we have 10 of these. I have more in storage in case for some reason my math is wrong.
Those will be counting at home.
And we're going to be using a siphon like we did when we racked the beer on the previous live stream to carry this into the bottles. Another thing that we didn't use on the last live stream Did I not put the bottling siphon in here? Did I just talk about it and then put it somewhere else?
I thought you did. No.
Well, the other piece of equipment that we're going to use is a bottling siphon, which basically has a like a ball valve seal at the end that you use. You press that seal to the bottom of these bottles, and it basically allows the siphon to cut on and off as you fill the bottle. So you can go fill one bottle, and then it'll stop and fill the next bottle. And there's no valves or anything that you have to like twist and turn. It's a pretty fast process, but it does look like I did forget that somehow. I'm gonna grab that. Dylan is gonna regale you with tales of his past.
Tales of Premium Boy.
Tales of your experience on TikTok so far.
Well, only been on there about 2 weeks. I got 2 TikToks in 2 weeks. Only got about 10 followers. So, if you'd like to follow me on TikTok, I can be found at TheDylanTay. TheDylanTay. Hit your boy up. I'll start doing more stuff on there once I figure out what the fuck I want to do. Ha! Hashtag Premium Boy. That's me. Or maybe Nico is Premium Boy and I'm OnlyMans. Are you OnlyMans? I said, are you OnlyMans or am I both OnlyMans and Premium Boy?
I thought originally you were Premium Boy, but I feel like it makes more sense for you to be OnlyMans. But also Premium Boy sounds like the one that you would pay for. I feel like I am OnlyMans and you're Premium Boy.
That's cool. That works.
Okay. But it's an ironic coupling because he's actually more powerful than I am. I feel like there's a superhero duo that parallels this. There's got to be a superhero duo where like the main character accomplishes nothing unless the side character is there. And so it's actually the side character that does all of the heavy lifting.
Oh, that's got to be what's that? Oh,
the Ice Maker.
Have you ever seen the Tick before?
Yes.
I mean,
isn't his weakness cheese? Oh no! Well, wait, hold on. I'm thinking of a completely different, weird D-list superhero.
Who's that? Who are you thinking of?
I don't remember his name, but he's got like a blue face with like a domino mask and like a red suit. And hair. His hair is just like, whoosh, like just swooped back.
He's like a parody of a superhero, or
I think he's a parody of a superhero.
He's not like someone serious effort at creating.
No.
Okay.
But he's on the same tier as the Tick.
Dude, this sounds so. Oh, it's starting to come back to me now. God, this sounds really familiar. It really does.
His name is It's something really trite like Blammo or not Kazam. But like something like that.
Someone look into that for us, please.
Yeah. Superhero, red suit, domino mask, black hair, and blue skin. Don't start with blue skin, because I feel like that's gonna be weird. Bro, I completely forgot about the Tick. Didn't it come out in like 28?
No.
Oh no, dude. You're thinking of the Amazon original series, which yes, did come out
they
in
rebooted
2000. Yeah. It did terrible. And I think it actually originally, that series came out in 2017 or 16 because it came out the first year that I went, or the second year that I went to TwitchCon.
Start with the cartoon. The cartoon came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, I think.
I think it was just the late 90s.
Very
I don't
good.
think it survived the late 90s.
It was very good.
It's like the original, it was like a parody comic book superhero animated series. It's like a parody version of like Bruce Timm's Batman and Superman that we saw on WB way back in the 90s. It was like parodying all of the tropes from that and the Justice League and stuff like that. Except that the Tick is completely like woefully inept. He happens to have superpowers, but it's actually like his sidekick who is a completely ordinary person who just like solves problems in like a pretty ordinary way.
And there was a following the cartoon, the original live action series only lasted 5-6 episodes, I think. I thought it was good. Check that out too, though. But definitely start with the cartoons.
the Tick is the
I think it's
like the inspiration for the Crimson Chin. If you've
Yeah.
seen that from the Fairly Odd Parents.
I think the Tick is criminally slept on, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it back in the day. I need to give it a rewatch.
I really wanted to rewatch it when the live action series came out, and then when I saw all of the negative reviews, I was like, ooh.
You talking about
Maybe
the original or the reboot?
I wanted to rewatch the original animated series.
Gotcha.
Like,
The original.
this was, by the way...
Sorry, the original. Sorry, the cartoon or the original
Cartoon.
live action?
The cartoon.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. That aired alongside stuff like Animaniacs, by the way. Like, it was that level of, like, crazy, weird, absurd comedy.
Yeah.
It was the kind of animated comedy where, like, the Tick could reach off screen and be like, oh no! We won't be able to catch him unless we have a car! Where will we get a car?
Yeah.
And then would, like, a car would just roll in off screen. That kind of weird, absurd comedy.
Yeah.
All that came up was Red Domino Mask for Sale. I feel like he had a really weird name, like... You know, if I throw out random names out there, it's not going to help. But he had a name that was something like Phantasmo or something, and maybe he was the villain in the Tick actually. But his weakness was like square cheese, and it was a play on how the original Green Lantern's weakness was the color yellow, just the color yellow. Sup, gents? Jake, what's up? Thank you for tuning in.
So, my guy.
Thoughts on the Invincible series on Amazon Video. Hey, actually, if you have ever liked any animated comic book hero stories, you would like Invincible.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
It starts out as, and like you go through about 95% of the first episode, and you're just like, oh, this is just Amazon rehashing your Justice League, okay? And then in the last 5% of the episode, you're like, what the fuck just happened? I thought I was watching the Justice League, but this is like fucking Watchmen shit, and it's animated, and there's like people whose heads explode and send blood everywhere.
it. Oh, that's awesome.
I recommend that you watch it if you are of age, and if you are not of age, forget everything I just said. It sucks. It's terrible. Don't watch it. Never watch it.
Bad.
Until you're old enough, and then do watch it. Anyway, we're gonna bottle this beer. The first thing I have to do is take this off, and I'm gonna let Dylan get the first sniff. Not because it might be toxic, because it might be. But because it might smell good.
Does smell good.
Probably.
Yep. Smells like beer.
That's a good sign. Oh, actually.
Right? Smells like beer.
Yeah, it smells like it's ready. Like it just needs to be carbonated. So that's a good sign. All right. Lord forgive me.
The main villain in the Tick is in an entirely brown suit. He looks like a gremlin and has a weird ass mask. There is, I don't remember his name. There is a villain in the Tick. I think his name might be like Chairhead, but his head is a chair. Do you remember that?
No, but that tracks from what I do remember about
But
the Tick.
it's like a chair.
We
like
were
that.
so small when the Tick came out.
Anyway, it was forever ago.
I mean, Dylan was at any point in the past. Dylan has been smaller than he is now.
I was just deluxe boy at that time.
Yeah, not premium.
Yeah,
Just Dylan was in season pass boy at the time.
correct. I was regular admission,
Yes.
single visit.
Dylan did not yet have the fun pass.
No.
Yeah, he was in the animated version. Shareface, Chippendale.
Yes. Hell yeah.
What?
Good call. Hell yeah.
We've got some really invested fans.
Hell yes. Angry Lilith, thank you.
Hold on a second. Maybe we can convert 1 2/3 tablespoons to ounces. TBSP. Wait! Damn it. TBSP
Shareface Chippendale.
to ounce. 1.
Those who have not seen the Tick cartoon, I strongly encourage you to go watch it.
0.83 ounces.
You wouldn't happen to have a food scale anywhere in the house, would you? To make
I
this
would
whole
happen
thing
to
easier?
have 2 here at the bar.
Well, let's use those. So now, if you just have a little something or another, we can pour the whatever into.
But that's a gram by weight. That's not gram by volume.
Oh, does that do that? Because I have one that does.
Maybe it's the same thing. Whatever. How many grams did we say we needed?
Well, I don't think we came up with the final number.
milliliters.
Well, let's do milliliters.
So this must be able to do. Oh wait, hold on.
Let's do a milliliter conversion.
No, it's got ounces.
Or that. Or we can just find out how many mLs we need.
Let's change this to milliliter. 24.65 milliliters.
Okay. Cool.
So we need something that we can measure it in and zero out that also won't.
Get like a plastic cup. I mean, I guess we can use one of these, but it would just be easier to get out of a plastic cup. Or
Like, why don't we just use a shot glass? Because I don't think it's going to be a whole ounce of sugar.
True.
Let's use a little guy like this, little fluted edge, so that it doesn't get stuck. Tear. Okay, so we need 24.83 is what I said?
20, I think it was
24.65.
24. Alright, I don't remember that. 24.65. And go. Just do 25. That's fine. Oh, perfect. 25.
Hey! We did it. Is this the way you should do it? No. Dylan and I are using a shortcut because
It'd be like that sometimes.
that's just how we are.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Alright, let me just make sure. So, okay. Alright, I'm good with that. I am at peace with that. It says that there's nothing left here in this glass, which is clearly a lie, but
It's negligible.
right, there's a negligible amount of sugar left here in this glass. Wait, what am I doing? That's clean. That goes down here. That is actually from Jean-Luc. So Jean-Luc, even if you didn't want to, you're helping. Now this is a sterilized glass pipette, and I'm going to use this to do a bartender stir. Try and aerate this solution a little bit, and also get that sugar from the agave equally incorporated around. I've also stirred up some of that fine sediment down there, but luckily Dylan and I have a plan. It might work. We have a plan. We don't know if it's going to work, but we have an idea for keeping that sediment from ending up in these final bottles. So,
Legal substance free stream.
it's too big. There we go. And then this is a super bag, by the way, which is a super porous fine mesh. Porous, by the way, in this instance doesn't mean absorbent. It just means that the holes, the tiny holes in here, are incredibly fine. More fine than you would find in like a cheesecloth or like your pillowcase and stuff like that. So hopefully that will stop all of the ultra fine particles from ending up in these bottles. But we do still want the yeast to get there, which, I mean, I think it should. We'll see. That also means that we can just
Get in there.
shove it in there.
Yeah. Get in there. Nice and
Right
deep
in
black.
there. We snow.
We snow.
And then I've miscalculated.
Oh dear.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
How did I get? Is this one wider? It sure is. Well, then we're gonna use the wider gauge here. Like so. We just have to make sure that this is elevated up off the ground. And to do that, I did grab a bucket, but it's gonna be easier to just do that. Now, if this looks slapdash together, it is. But you shouldn't judge us for it. Part of the reason that I do it this way is I want to show you guys how easy it can be to do this at home and what kinds of concessions and things you can make if you don't have everything readily available on hand. Like if you can't do secondary fermentation under pressure, and like you don't have things fully sanitized, and you don't have the right sanitizer, or you don't have the time to rack your beer, different things like that. If you just don't want to whack a beer out at home, it'll still work. That's kind of the point of why we take, not shortcuts exactly, but why we make certain concessions while we're making beer. Before we start this, because it's going to go by very hard and fast, just like me. Would you like to open the beer before we dive into this?
I would.
I also want to line this up on camera too, because I feel like this is where people will get the best view of what these bottles look like as they're being filled. Beautiful. That looks good to me. So basically, we're going to start on one side, and this is that ball siphon I was talking about, that little needle right there. There's a ball that normally gravity will keep at the bottom of this, but as it pushes to the bottom of these bottles, that ball gets pushed up, the seal releases, and anything that's carried in the siphon by gravity will end up in these bottles. So, really quick, I'm going to grab a couple bottles of beer first.
Me zoned out when bopping to the music. Me always.
Oh, by the way, guys, Fruit Jelly and everyone, we can't hear the music that you guys hear.
Oh wait, music's playing?
Yeah, so you see that desktop audio, the level up there at the very top?
Yeah.
That's the music they hear. Well, it's probably between songs right now, but you'll see that level go up here. Yep, now there's something else playing.
What's playing?
Non-copyright music. I just have like a huge playlist of like 2,500 songs or something that
Damn.
one of my mods put together for me. Thank you, audio. I appreciate it. So I play that, I forget about it, and then that way I just know if I'm quiet, at least I know that there's music playing.
Gotcha.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheeseburglar 2, welcome back.
Pretty tasty.
Sorry, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know if I've seen your username before. I have had a cheeseburger themed username in chat before, but welcome. Thank you for tuning in. How's it going?
What's happening? Alright, let's do this.
I've done this before. A lot. Not a lot. I've made 3 beers before in my life. So,
I'll spot you.
I think the first thing I have to do is begin the siphon like I did last time.
Use that mouth, boy.
Damn it, Dylan.
We're holding this pipe together. There you go. There you go.
Let's make it more complicated. Hold on. Maybe if I get down on one knee.
It's looking like it wants to do something. There we go.
You see that's getting stuck right here. So that means we need to raise this higher, so we do actually need the white bucket.
Ah, Jesus. size of your hose is too long for that. Lift the bottle higher.
In my head. The siphon's working. Alright. Let that. Oh, hold on.
Alright, we almost have
Look,
half
it's
of one
actually
bottle.
sucking beer out of the bottle.
What's doing that?
Improper seal. I'm gonna let the air travel back through. Same problem. It's taking beer out of the bottle here. I think he's right. I think the hose is actually just too long.
Well,
Let's see.
what do we do?
We brought to muscle this shorter one to work. Part of this closed system here. There we go.
Oh, nice finesse. Go now, get.
There we are.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the bottle siphon is it can be very temperamental.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's my issue, is that these are like the same gauge.
Oh yeah, I see.
But as long as that glass doesn't break. Oh wait, hold on, I had it.
Are you trying to squeeze this one into this one?
I'm trying to squeeze the glass pipette into the rubber hosing. I think I've done it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes!
There you go.
Okay, shorter pipe means well, I can tell you from experience, it tastes like beer. Does it need to go even higher to generate more pressure? It shouldn't.
So what if we put this bucket on top of this bucket?
I'm wondering if it's because the fine mesh is just keeping it from being able to suck hard enough. Oh, well, that bottle is full.
All right, so
Didn't
we have
realize.
a bottle now.
It's flowing. Just very, very slowly.
Just kind of just messing around with this and see. So I have it lifted up a little bit to where it was, and now it's getting well, it was flowing.
Sometimes you can jump the siphon by jetting it, like shoving it into the liquid.
No, it's not. There's not even there's not even that much sediment buildup either. So that shouldn't be it. Because it's not. Yeah, there's not enough in there to stop the flow of the liquid.
we're gonna death-defying timing here. So let me see if we can get this on camera too for everybody. Because I'm gonna have to suck on this, and then as it's connecting, try and really quickly cap it over.
There we go.
It looks like there's air getting in the line, because like this shouldn't happen.
No, but you have it connected. You have it sealed.
Pull your end out really quick to clear the line. Yeah, as long as it's all the way out, and then put it back in. I want to see what this looks like. I'm wondering if it's just that I...
What do we do? Do we try another bucket?
Actually, maybe yes.
So,
Because I don't want there to be a U between that, but like I don't want the hose to form a U like this, because this is where the liquid, when I'm done, just backwashes and this becomes filled with air. Hold on. Just nobody move. Nobody breathe, because those will make a huge mess.
yes, it will. There we go.
And then you put the bucket on top of the board.
Good thinking.
Hell yeah, engineering. Alright, go higher, yeah. Alright, so now when I create the suction here, when I suck, there shouldn't be a U shape or a sump here that causes air to backwash. See, this is what I don't understand. I just drew this little bit. I don't know how this air is getting here.
There's not a hole in the. No, there's not a hole in there. It could be. Well, this is.
Well, we're not using the bottling siphon, but we have progress finally.
Well, this is also the best it's been. I think it's a steady. See, it's a steady flow now.
You can see it in the bottles actually too.
All right, folks, we have a steady flow of beer now. Sorry for all that dead time.
Alright. This is gonna be a Nico flavored beer, everybody.
We're making progress. At least we're working on bottle 4 now.
I don't know where the air is coming from in the system.
It appears like it's getting steadier and steadier though.
Slowly, little by little, day by day.
All right, so we have 4 bottles now.
Bottle number 5. Woo!
We're getting there. Making progress.
Jake says different camera.
Could this bag have something to do with the
It's definitely slowing down the rate of pour, but that doesn't explain why there's air in the system.
Maybe this end of the pipe is in the bag is in such a way it's creating like a really, really small vacuum. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe like a really small, like a small enough air pocket or big enough, whatever. Because other than that, I don't.
That makes sense. Okay, I think I figured out where the air is coming from, and it's entirely. And I was gonna say Dylan's fault, but it's not Dylan's fault that there's air in the system. It's my fault. I've just realized why, and it's thanks to Dylan that I've realized why.
Ha.
Okay, so the reason there is air in the system is the same reason that we're having issues backwashing this in here. It's because and this is probably why other people who brew beer don't do the same thing. There we go. Try and finesse that back in the fermenter. It's because the fine mesh is affecting how quickly the beer can flow through the system. So when I suck too hard, what's happening is the volume of beer inside the mesh already goes down faster than the beer can come through the mesh. So the air from outside the mesh is filling in that gap. I think that's where the air is coming from in the system. I'm wondering if instead of going and toking it super fast, I'm wondering if instead if I went and just tried to fill this with beer first, if that would work better.
It's worth a shot.
Okay. I've got another stupid, crazy idea, and I don't want to make a mess. But I do want to test this out, and it involves me standing on something.
Oh dear.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me make sure my fly is done, and that I'm wearing pants. Okay.
Thank God.
So, here's my plan. I think if I do it from up here,
There you go.
and then force it down here. Yeah, listen to that.
That's easily worked. That's
Physics!
worked way better than anything else so far.
Yeah! I don't know why I went full Ray Romano just then.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we're just bottling some beer. I don't understand why.
I'm still standing on this stool.
I don't understand why he's still
There we
on the
go.
chair. Well,
It's a horrible Ray Romano.
Is there a good Ray?
Not
Yeet.
including Ray Romano. No. And have a little bit left over. Looks like.
Maybe. We've got one more bottle here.
Oh shit. Okay.
Don't question my math.
I would never.
You're gonna have to tilt that bottle up there.
Yeah.
Yo. This thing filled up fast as fuck, boy. Oh, no, air in the system. Fuck. Alright, that might be all that we get from that. Alright, this is all gonna have to go up through the dishwasher. But you can take that out of there now. We're professionals.
There you go.
Alright, everything, all of it in the sink. Ow! All according to plan!
And that, ladies and germs, is how you bottle beer. doesn't necessarily need to be that complicated or involved, but just kind of how the cookie crumbled this time.
That's how the pros do it. You don't have to do it that way if you don't want to. And if you don't want to hurt your knees, you absolutely don't have to do it that way.
Exactly. It's as simple as this.
Cap those babies. I want to make sure they're all the same level because, like, I'll show you guys camera 2 really quick. I don't know if this is gonna come across, so I'll visual aid really quickly. But you can see some of these are like right where they should be. That one here is a little bit high. This one is super high, and then like this one over here is also incredibly high up the neck as well. So I'm gonna try.
This one is.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna try and sort of, since these have already been filtered. They all should be homogeneous. They all should have the same concentration of different ingredients and stuff like that. So, like so, and then these two are both too full. Let's cut back to camera 3 so we can see our faces. My system for this, by the way, is pouring the most full into the most empty constantly until we have about the same level all the way through. And what I'm aiming for is about like 1 finger up from the shoulder of the bottle. You want your bottles to have a little bit of space for gas to expand, otherwise they will shatter after you've bottled them, and obviously that's a recipe for a bad day.
These two right here. Or 3 rather. It's 3. Alright, getting there.
I feel like they're all gonna end up just, if we were gonna try and do it so that they're all equal, they would all be filled to the shoulders and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That might be as good as it's gonna get. Or get that
Actually, I think you're right. I think that's pretty much
one. Or
this
get
one
that
a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably.
That is as good as it is gonna get. You guys can't really see this very well, so we'll do another visual aid here. They're all gonna be filled to about, hold on, right at the shoulder, versus like these over here that are filled a little bit higher. It's a really cool visual effect I didn't anticipate needing to use, but I'm glad we thought of it.
I'm the special effects department here.
Now I need to find bottle caps, and I need to grab the bottle capper from our lab. So give me 1 second.
Hey everybody. This is what we're, let's see, get that in focus. Nights like these. It's a stout. Pretty good. Ah, glorious 1080p. What y'all drinking tonight? Drop in the comments. Let me and Nika know what you're drinking on. And there he is.
So the bottle capper was in the lab. Oh, you've never used this before.
Bump,
Excited for this. The bottle caps themselves, though. Aha! So, We'll be procedural about this. Let's just move these over here. Something I like to do is I'll number the tops of the caps as we're doing these so that I know, like, if bottle number 7 or 9 are off, then I'll know that there's something about the end of the batch that was weird.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So, you take one of these, place it on here gingerly. There's a magnet there that will suck onto that. So, place it there, and then till it locks. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because that's all anybody told me.
I don't want to do it too hard. Can I do it?
No. It's not centered. I think you might need a different cap.
Oh,
Let me
fuck.
see.
Is that
That's
good?
good enough.
Okay.
So, doesn't it feel like you're going to break the whole thing
Yeah.
when you do it? It's very weird the first few times that you do this. But you just have to have faith. And then you just...
Oh, okay.
You're not going to break it. This thing can't go further than that position.
Okay. Let's do this. Stop being a pussy.
And in the meantime, we're going to label these 1, 2, beer. Force Within, thank you for tuning in on YouTube. I appreciate it. How's it going? Looks good to me.
Cool. Alright.
This might be better than the Belgian beer we made a while back.
And what kind of beer is this again?
This is a Golden Strong Ale.
Gold Strong Ale.
It was originally meant to be the recipe for the White House Honey Ale, but we modified it. We simplified it. I didn't want to add honey.
Why?
Because I'd have to go out and buy it.
Like, literally that simple. When I say I try and make this as simple as possible for you guys, I mean exactly that. I found a kit with comprehensive instructions to make 1 gallon of beer that had everything that you needed except for the bottles. And your boiling pot or whatever that you use to physically brew the beer. So when it was like, at this step, add honey if you want it to be a honey ale, I was like, skip. And I can tell you, the raw beer itself actually tastes really good already.
Raw beer?
Yeah, well, not uncarbonated flat beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm.
Do you want to taste it out of one of these?
Sweet dreams, dude. I swear to God, it feels like you are gonna break it every time. I got 3 left.
So it's hard for me to write 5s. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, V. And that would normally look like a 7, except the way that I do my 7s is the ornate, like...
Oh, the one
across.
thing you want the line through it?
Yeah.
You so fancy.
There we go. 8.
Can I get a job doing this at a brewery somewhere?
I feel like they probably have a machine to do it.
You're right.
You could try if you think you could go faster than the machine.
You know when people,
Put me in.
you know when people say there is no such thing as a dumb question? You know when people say there is no such thing as a dumb question? There definitely is. And that was one of those.
I've heard. I mean, we've both been in customer service before. We know there are dumb questions.
Yeah.
If the customer were always right, they wouldn't need us, right? Like,
Facts.
that's the whole premise.
Everything would be one of those new Amazon stores where you just walk in and buy what you want and walk out.
All right, everyone, that is the beer fermented, racked, bottled. It's gonna be ready, I think. It's gonna be ready when I get back from Switzerland, I think. We're gonna Google this really quick.
What are we googling?
How long should it be in the bottle? How long should my beer? How long should I leave my beer in the?
At least 7 to 10 days, I'm gonna say.
What is this? In the freezer? No.
Who's freezing their beer? Jake says no.
After you bottle the beer, give it at least 2 weeks. So a week after I get back from Switzerland, we'll taste these.
So do you let them sit out like that at room temperature, or can you, and then afterwards you would refrigerate them, if you so please? I would hope you would, please.
Now, I have the homebrew fridge is back here. It's filled with ciders and things. If you want to follow me with those 4.
BRB. We'll be back in about 10 seconds. Dylan, technically, officially, has brewed his first beer. Camera.
Everyone, welcome Dylan back in stage right. Yes. Stage correct. Oh, have you seen the videos that I've been doing where I read scripts written by AI?
I have. They're hilarious.
Dude, it's been a while since I've made a video that I enjoy so much that I rewatch it several times.
Good stuff.
It's a good feeling.
Good thing to do when you've been drinking too, or it's fun to do.
Would you believe I do those sober? It's the first thing
Yeah,
well,
for
it's
sure.
not the first thing I do in the morning. I watch Rosalie for a couple hours. As soon as Hannah gets out of bed, at this point, I'll just tell her like, "Hey, I'm gonna find a script and record it really quick." And she's like, "Cool, go for it."
Hell yeah.
I did one
That's
for
awesome.
Star Trek today. I didn't have to, but I wanted to do Sir Patrick Stewart's voice.
Hell yeah.
And which I think I got close in spirit. And then I had to do William Shatner's voice, which is a lot harder because like I know his intonations, but I can't place his accent.
I couldn't do either.
William Shatner emphasizes every single word. I'm trying to remember one of his lines. One of his lines is something along the lines of like, "I'm the captain, I have hair." So, in the AI script, so for him it would be like, "I'm the captain, I have hair." Like that's the way that he spoke, at least when he was doing the Star Trek series way back in the late 60s. I'm not that old, but that series definitely is.
It came out in the 60s.
1966 was the original air date for Star Trek.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Star Wars is better. Star Wars is better. I don't care what
Never
anybody says.
answered. How do I make mead sweeter after? Close in spirit. Everything I do is in spirit, pretty much. I'll let you all read into that. Jake never answered. How do I make mead sweeter after? It depends. What like?
Dunk chocolate cake in it.
Don't tell me. That's gonna be. We're gonna become the epic mealtime of home brewing. It's this whole channel is just gonna be like.
It's not a bad idea.
We tried to ferment a triple chocolate cake. This is how it went.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be a speed rewind back to 3 weeks earlier.
Sleep.
Actually, no, it'd be way before that. Star Wars is better.
Thank you, Jake.
I don't think you can compare the two. So Star Wars
Yeah,
has
they
like
have star in the name.
Star Wars has like a pretty obvious dichotomy between the good and evil in that world. Star Trek is incredibly unique even still because it's told in a world that is ideal. In an idealistic world that has already overcome the obstacles and things that we are familiar with. Like in Star Trek, they don't deal with the same kinds of problems that we do now in society. They've not overcome, but they've sort of like gotten over racism as we're familiar with it, and like systematic inequality and things like that, poverty, and it's an ideal system. And so what they're doing really is they're sort of like flip-flopping around the universe, tackling these small chaotic instances of just absurd random shit that happens. One of the big rules in Starfleet in Star Trek is that you can't make contact and you can't communicate with a civilization that has not achieved space travel. And so because of that, they don't even really make contact with, or they don't land with any species that would have those values and things like that too. They would never land here, for example, because we're underdeveloped. We are too savage for Starfleet to land.
Archaic.
Yeah. We're not that well developed. So I really like that about Star Trek. It's the picture of what humanity and what society would look like at an ideal level if everything worked out.
I feel
Where
that.
would we be if we could travel the stars, and what would that mean?
I feel that.
Star Wars isn't like that. Star Wars is like, if we could do that and there was still good and evil, what would that look like? So I feel like it's apples and oranges.
Fair enough. I still contest that.
Star Wars is more fun to watch, in my opinion.
For sure.
Because I like watching the...
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all of episodes 5 and 6
Pretty much.
out of 9. You can. They both have... Oh, Lord.
Called it.
I think it'd be really fun eventually because when I started doing these scripts, originally I just reposted one. I reposted the script that Jake shared with me while we were live playing Destiny 5 years ago, and it was a script for a Bob Ross episode written by AI that sounds great, fully absurd and unhinged, and that one did really well on this brand new account that I made. So I was like, okay, that's going to be the shtick. That's what we're going to do. And after that one, I did an episode of Batman. Or no, a Batman movie. And then after that one, I did an X-Men movie. And then I did an episode of Frasier. Which it didn't flop exactly. It's just that I think people want to see pop culture stuff. And in my head, I'm like, Frasier's hilarious because I'm fucking old as shit now.
Maybe you can see Frasier.
Frasier was like, it aired contemporary with like series like Friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the humor was much more highbrow.
No.
Jean-Luc unfortunately could better explain Frasier, and it would be very appropriate because he's wearing nothing but a robe. You guys won't get to see that. But yeah, it follows Frasier Crane and his brother Niles. Frasier is an esteemed, I think he's a radio host and psychologist, so he's doing very well for himself in the 90s. His brother Niles is kind of like the free spirit of the family, and kind of like he's also incredibly intelligent and just like flits around between different relationships. They both come home to their, I think it's Frasier's house technically, but he lives with his dad and his live-in maid Daphne. I remember her being Scottish for some reason, but I think she may have just been from England. I obviously haven't watched the series in like 20 years, but it's very highbrow humor, it holds up actually, unlike Friends, unlike many things from the 90s.
Yeah, I can never get into Friends, man. I can't do it.
It's
lost on me.
One of the big differences, I tried rewatching Friends years ago, and one of the first things that got me in the first season, in like episode 1, is they began making fun of like gay or like we'll say homosexual like idiosyncrasies in the friend group. And so they were like, oh, Joey, like, are you sure you're not gay or whatever? Maybe it was Chandler or something in that episode. And the way they handled it just felt woefully inappropriate, because the joke is that they might be gay, and that feels really irresponsible. That feels toxic. But the way they handled a joke like that in Frasier would be that Niles would come in, and Niles, like I said, was a free spirit, like a wild card. You never knew what was going on with Niles, so he would just whoosh, waft into a room, and Frasier and his dad would ask him some questions, and then they would hint at like, are you sure you're not gay? And then Niles basically would just brush it off. He'd be like, so what if I was? Ha ha! And then and fly and like just waft out of the room.
Gotcha.
They would just be like, it's, even if I were, it's not a big deal. And then they'd be like, the dad would be like, yeah, I guess he's right. We did weirder stuff in the 60s. Like that was the spirit of the whole show.
Yeah, and for the time that show came out, it was much more forward thinking, because that same trope that's used in Friends is just kind of tired out. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even funny in 2022. You know?
Joke. Jake is quoting the Bob Ross script. Paint bleeds from his eyes. The clouds. Oh no, the direct quote isn't "the clouds don't love you." It's "the clouds won't help you." Which is funny, because in the X-Men script, generated by the same AI, Professor Xavier says, "This is Storm. She is friends with a cloud. Useful." So it's weird that the same stuff keeps coming up, and even in the script for Frasier, Frasier's dad is a chair. That is how he is introduced. And granted, during the series, you pretty much only ever see him sitting down. I only remember him sitting down. And so he says about 3 times throughout the script, "I'm a chair!" Which is how I remember him talking for some reason. And then, the very next script that I read was an episode of Bar Rescue, where the bar owner says that his son is a stool. It is very weird that AI seems to think that people can be chairs. Specifically, things that you can sit on. And that also clouds are incredibly important, and what you can do with them is important.
Maybe a sign of things to come once AI takes over.
The AI is just a comedy writer.
Yeah.
I did do I did a 1.5-minute video responding to all of the comments that I got that were like, "This is fake. That's not how AI works. You're writing these." And I was like, okay, I don't want to disappoint you guys. I'm not writing these, but I'm gonna show you where you can find the scripts that I'm reading, where you can find the AI that writes the scripts and how that AI works. And then the main person here that I've done is doing poorly compared to all of the other ones. Like, all of the other videos are like 50,000 views and over, and that one is like 2,000 views. So I'm still getting comments from people who are like, "Oh, that's not how AI works. AI could never." And it's like, yo, you woefully underestimate the power of AI. Hannah says, "Shot 30.
Hi, Hannah.
Maybe a shot of... I want to do a shot of vodka because it's the easiest thing to pass through my system.
Okay. This one? don't hate vodka, but it's definitely it's not my go-to. That's all I'm saying. Never has been. But as far as vodka goes,
Also, wait, hold on. Hi, Hannah. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I just realized you weren't here earlier. Hi. Sorry, everyone. Hannah, my girlfriend here in chat. Normally she's here at the very beginning, and I spaced out. Welcome. Thank you for tuning back in. Also, girlfriend, not like my friend who happens to be... Hannah's my partner. Cheers, everyone.
they have a child together.
I was taking a shot, but that's true.
It's not bad.
Woo!
I've had much worse.
If I found a script, if I let you pick a script, would you want to read one with me?
100%.
All right, we're gonna do it. I like this plan.
100%. Vodka with orange juice is a chaser, and that's how I finish off a bottle the size you have now in like 3 hours. Word. Be safe, Jake. Have fun, but be safe. And don't forget to drink water.
All right,
And get something to eat.
we're gonna scroll down here a little bit.
The subtext of they have a child together.
It's gonna be faster if I ask. What show or movie would you want to read a script from?
Archer. Oh, that's
Hold on, let me see if I can Google it.
that's disappointing if they don't. Ozark. No, that's not. That wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't think there's an AI script for Archer.
Oh, fucking up.
Or Ozark, it's too new. Ozark's been around for a while, but
Yeah.
they have
self-
Game of Thrones, Big Bang Theory, The Matrix, Superman.
Let's do The Matrix.
All right, don't have to tell me twice. We have Three Citizens, Superman. Oh no, that's Superman. Here we go. We have Morpheus and Neo and Agent Smith. Those are the only three characters. So I'm gonna drag this up here. There's also stage directions. So I like reading the stage directions, which means you have to be two of the characters and I have to be one.
Okay. I will be. I'm gonna be Agent Smith and Morpheus.
So I'll be Neo
You're a
in stage
protagonist.
directions.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't read that.
Okay. You can't? Hold on.
Yeah, if you just can zoom in on the text, like blow up the screen resolution. I need glasses. Yeah, there you go. Yep, perfect.
Oh yeah, that actually is like absolutely perfect. All right. What movie do? What movie?
Which Matrix movie is this?
The one between the last one we've seen and the series that is out now.
There's a Matrix series out? What?
Maybe, I think so. There's some sort of new Matrix something out now on HBO, whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Man, we sound so old.
We do. Have you seen the new Matrix, the film?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. So it's
That is
between
on HBO.
that. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. That it's between that and whichever one Neo and it's before the most recent movie.
So it's between. So Matrix Revolutions was the third in the original trilogy, I think. And what's the new one called? I saw it. I don't remember the name. Resurrection. So it's between those two. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Works.
It's between Revelations and Resurrection, which means it's
Revelations.
Yep, Revelations. Matrix Revelations. Matrix movie. Interior. Perhaps internet. Off to a great start. In a karate house, Morpheus kung fu's Neo. They both are. Morpheus.
You thought technology was good. In reality is bad. And reality is not reality. Reality is computers.
Neo. I know sunglasses. Morpheus chops at Neo, but Neo makes time lazy. I thought I was gonna say that laser.
Lazier.
But Neo makes time lazier, allowing him to dodge with a back bend. Morpheus becomes a pharmacy. Morpheus.
You are the number one. 2 pills. 1 red, 1 blue. One you take and learn guns. The other is blue.
Neo eats the red pill. Morpheus smiles. He wanted blue pill for self. It gives him more leather clothing. A phone rings. Morpheus continued.
Phone is how we get out of things.
Neo. Because wires. Yes. I'll answer it. Neo must walk to phone on the wall, due to Matrix rule. He reaches, but is grabbed by Agent Smith, computer policeman. Agent Smith.
That call is for a program, human. Humans are batteries without power.
Morpheus.
Neo, become an architect.
Neo frees his mind. Learn.
I do a horrible Lawrence Fishburne impersonation, by the way.
I thought you were doing fine.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Neo frees his mind, learning architecture. He builds a nice-looking building using only architecture. Things are green.
As you do.
Agent Smith.
Very nice looking. It probably includes many good files.
Being computer, Agent Smith must search for files. While he searches, Neo shoots... While he searches, Neo shoots bullets into Agent Smith's chest inbox. Agent Smith continued.
Dark dead. I'll be another guy.
Agent Smith dies and becomes a new guy who is... Agent Smith dies and becomes new guy who is 2 white twins. Morpheus.
Computers. Were they worth all of this philosophy? I think maybe.
What did we just read?
Fuck if I know, man.
Mr. Anderson. I can't do...
That's what I was going for.
I don't, maybe it's because I haven't seen the movies in so long, but,
That guy is such a good actor.
I think Neo and Agent Smith have, voices that I can tether, but Morpheus not so much for some reason.
I think of the 3, Agent Smith has the most, to me, the most discernible voice. To me.
I think Agent Smith speaks robotically, but he speaks like his teeth are stuck in place. That's how I get his voice in my head. The Mr. Anderson. He doesn't really open his mouth very much.
As a side note, have you ever noticed that non-American actors do American accents really well in film, but it doesn't go the other way around usually? American actors are not able to do English or Australian accents very well.
I've noticed that. But I've always attributed that to the fact that they probably have more American English media there than we have access to British English media here or Australian English media. The most canonical version of an Australian accent that most Americans in our generation are familiar, and we're both millennials, are familiar with would be Crocodile Dundee. And that is not at all... Same dude.
Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Hunter are 2 different people.
I quit!
Crocodile Dundee is the movies.
Okay.
Crocodile Hunter is Steve Irwin. The guy who got...
When you're right, you're right. Dylan's right.
Yeah.
The other guy is the guy that's that's not a knife.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yep, but it's the same principle. Like they both have like very thick accents.
Yes.
Not over the top.
They are very clearly
they're
Australian.
probably natural sounding accents to them. But that's the only thing that I can tether to what an Australian accent sounds like. And I have Australian friends. But I can't fake their accents.
Hell no.
I can get close to Steve Irwin, and that's.
Because you just have to be over the top.
Have you seen Robert Irwin? Have you seen his son?
No.
Same dude, different body.
Oh, yeah?
Literally, yes, exactly like his dad. And I'm here for every minute of it.
Bless.
All of Steve Irwin's son's content, all of Robert Irwin's content, I'm here for it.
Bless. All right, let's keep this going.
You want to read another one? Let me see if there are any comments.
Oh, was that the only script?
Oh,
Was that
there's
it?
way more.
No, was that it for the Matrix one though?
Oh, yeah. So all of these AI scripts are always just, here's the first page. It's broken up into 2 parts, but it's always one. It's supposed to be 1 minute.
Oh.
Because
okay.
each page of a screenplay is supposed to be 1 minute.
Gotcha. Agent Smith's voice is spoken through the back of the throat, like you said.
Have you seen the new one at the end?
Did you say you did see the new Matrix? It's. You want me to give my opinion on it? Is it good? It leaves a lot to be desired.
Like,
What? Because
like the final season of Game of Thrones, it leaves a lot to be desired, or like it's just a really bad cliffhanger.
no, it's not that. It's not really bad cliffhanger, but like
No, it's not that.
it has a lot of like.
Like it leaves you wanting more, or it just leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, because you don't really even get a taste of what you want to begin with. Like you get a.
That's unfortunate. Their PR campaign was so good too.
And with the original, like, well, really the original trilogy, but especially the original Matrix, it's so goddamn good. And like the themes in it and the ideas in it are so.
It's so succinct.
It's
like,
and at that time, it was just so fresh. It was so different, and it still holds up now. At this, like the first half hour of the new Matrix movie, you still have all that going on, but it just goes completely by the wayside. Like you see really cool ideas and really cool things that could potentially happen. Start like 1% start to blossom, and then it stops right there. Which is it's very disheartening because I
still want to see it. I'm
should.
hoping that
Develop your own opinion.
from what you've said, I'm hoping that they built it that way because they want it to be an episodic like trilogy. That's the word I was looking for, or something like that, where they want to make more than one movie, and maybe this is laying a lot of groundwork.
I hope so.
Because that's something they did really well in the original movies, is they would introduce a concept for something in an earlier movie, like when Neo was the one, and then I think that's obviously in the very first movie. That should be a spoiler for anybody. But then like in I think it's the third film in Revelations, when they're like, Neo is the one, but there are other people who have had or have that level of power, like the ability to like bend spoons and like change the programming and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're all being taken care of by a like this. I think the woman was also a program.
Oh, you're talking about the Oracle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There's that, and then there's like the architects, and they do a lot of world building, which I thought was really cool. But it all comes to like a very not like a neat and tidy end, but like it all comes to a very cathartic release at the end, where you're like, okay, cool. Everything that I wanted out of this, all the questions and things that I had, they're all succinctly answered. If they've built this movie like that, I think they're probably building the same way. I think they probably have a plan for 1 or 2 more that will show you what the word I want to use is like epigenesis, but I feel like that's not the right word, but what the proliferation of those ideas looks like later on.
Yeah.
And then, like, again, third film, like, bringing all of those things together. I love when series do that. Television series or movie trilogies.
Neil Patrick Harris is the engineer / architect in the new film. And he is.
I love that for him.
Yeah, I do too. But I don't know. I hope it fleshes out to be something more in future films. If they are going to do future films, I wouldn't think they would do a one-off film. 15 years after the last one? I would hope they have plans to do more.
Yeah.
Because that seems kind of a waste.
I don't think they would have gotten everyone back on board if they were like, "Hey guys, we've got this great idea for a cash grab."
Well, there's a lot of people noticeably missing. Lawrence Fishburne does not reprise Morpheus. Hugo Weaving does not reprise Agent Smith. What's her name? Carrie-Anne Moss, she's back as Trinity. Keanu Reeves is back as Neo. But other than that, like, there's a lot of new faces. Which kind of it
weird.
It takes away the zeal some.
You know what character I wanted to see more from? I wanted to see more from Tank. In the second movie.
Tank. Right, yeah.
He's their operator, if I recall correctly. He and his brother. I wanted to see more from them, and I don't want to spoil it for any people who haven't seen the films. Their roles
those films are
get
sold.
Summed up very quickly.
Those films are sold. There's no such thing as a spoiler alert. They've been out for so long now.
Yeah, they don't live up to their potential in the movies, and unfortunately, which sucked for me. Tank was a great character. I fully agree. I wanted more from Tank, and I wanted more explained about the Nebuchadnezzar, the ship that they have.
Yeah. I
felt like I was just like magical realism. They're just like, this is how it is, and you're just supposed to be like, okay, cool, take me on this trip, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. We're just gonna fucking dive in.
What was really interesting about those movies too is, and particularly the second film, you had what are their names? Jada Pinkett Smith plays. Remember the character's name? It's the Asian.
I could see her, but I don't know her name.
The dude's name is Ghost, I think, and then Jada Pinkett. What the fuck is her name? Anyways, but I mean, I can't really think of many other films, or especially a trilogy or series, where two characters who have not.
Tank and Dozer. Dozer's Tank's brother.
Someone who's
Dozer's the one that rips them out when he's their engineer. I think Tank is is Dozer the one that dives with them. Hi. Hello.
Hey there.
5? Okay. We're live right now, yeah.
Good seeing you.
We're having trouble in the house in South Carolina. Not because of the renters or anything this time. There's work that needs to be done underneath the house.
Oh, like in crawl space or whatever?
Yeah, and so we need one company to clean the crawl space. We need a company to do the plumbing. We need a company to do all these other different things to update the plumbing and stuff like that down there.
There's no such thing as a one-stop shop. Not in that world.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, what I was saying. Someone tell me who Jada Pinkett Smith's character's name is in Matrix 2. Or you can look it up, I guess.
That's Matrix Reborn, I think?
Reloaded.
Reloaded.
But what I was saying is, because usually I find that in most trilogies, typically the second film is the weakest film. And I would say probably overall that same is true with the Matrix trilogy. But what's interesting about Matrix Reloaded is they took these two characters that had not been seen or had existed in this franchise prior to this movie and haven't been seen since. And they made them central characters in the film. And carried it out and executed it fairly well. Niobe, thank you. Thank you, Jake. Niobe.
But hold on, because is she in the second film?
Yeah. That's the only film she's in.
Jake, you're the man. Thank you. That's gonna drive me crazy. Yeah, that's the only one she's in. Oh, you know what? She's in the new one too.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing mostly here now when I'm Googling it.
She's in the new one too. She's a supporting role in the new one.
She's played by Niobe. But I couldn't find her IMDb credit on the second film.
It's weird because she's a main character in there.
Did you see a picture of her?
I mean, I know what Jada Pinkett Smith looks like.
But if you, but the character specifically. You hold on, I'm gonna show you. Niobe. Does it ring a bell?
No.
Really?
Would it shock you to learn that that looks nothing like any of the characters that I remember? I mostly remember Morpheus and Neo, Tank and Dozer, which are exceptional characters, and Carrie Ann Moss's character, whose name I'm blanking on. Trinity. I'm out, dudes. Love you all night. Jake, thank you for tuning in, sticking around, showing up. I appreciate it.
Peace out, Jake.
Take care, dude. Well, we've read an AI script. We've bottled some beer. We've talked about the Matrix. It's been.
We've had a productive stream.
Yeah, probably we've gotten more done during this stream than we normally do. But that's going to be it for now. I'm going to catch up with my mom really quick, talk about what's going on in this rental property that we have, and I'm going to continue to hang out with Dylan for a little bit longer. But thank you guys for tuning in, sticking around, showing up. I do appreciate it. Thank you for all of your help and support. Hopefully we have been helpful and supportive as well. Dylan, before we head out, tell everyone where they can find you.
TheDylanTay on IG and TikTok.
Hey, same username.
Same
No
username.
spaces, no underscores, just as it sounds. But thank you guys for being here. It does mean a lot to us. Hopefully we see you all in the next live stream. Till then, be good, be kind, be helpful, and we'll see you all then. Take care.
Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Hannah got in the last shot 30.